from Jen Like Sews on Instagram, on YouTube, and I have now done a TikTok account too. There's not a lot on it, so you're not missing anything there, but hopefully I'm going to start putting a little bit more content on there too. So I am coming to you at the start of my Susie and Christian wedding guest dress that I've just made. My heart is just so full of love for those two. It really made, like, I don't want to come on here telling you everything that happened because that's Susie and Christian's story, but from my point of view and how it made me feel, and like it just, we reminisced, and a lot of things. I think when you find that you actually love your partner, you have a lot in common of different scenarios and antidotes and things that were telling us. And that room was just full of love and admiration for both of them and the families. It was just such a lovely, lovely day. Now, why I ended up there is a bit of a story. Me and Susie started texting each other or messaging each other back in December. We were both had a little bit of a drink, of course, in them days, and we were in the camper van, me and Aggie. We were in York, and she had been in York and I'd seen her posting pictures in York and stuff, and I was like, I can't believe I've missed you, because I would have loved to have like met up with you in real life, like I do with a lot of people on Instagram. And obviously I've made some amazing friends, like Charlene being my bestie of all time. Sorry, Susie. But we got chatting and stuff like that, and Susie said that she felt like she didn't quite belong in the community, because she had no real sewing friends as such. Obviously she'd had the success of the sewing bee, but no sort of core value of friends within the sewing community. Now, I have only had positive from the sewing community on Instagram, and I think a lot of us could say that, actually. I think, well, I really hope that that is the view from a majority of people. Everyone I meet, whether it be at Harrogate, Stitch Fest, or even like I've met people in the strangest of places that have stopped me going, oh, you Jen Like Sews. Liberty was one time, me and Leggy had gone there, and Leggy was opening the door like he does because he's a gent. But we ended up sort of, he was opening one door and I ended up opening another door as you come into the Liberty, and it just seemed like there was just loads and loads of people passing us, and we were like, how do we close this door now and move on, because you know how busy that store gets. And someone actually stopped and said, oh, are you Jen Like Sews? She had a little suitcase with her, no idea who it was, but it just made my day that somebody recognised me from this. It is a skill, but it's also a passion, more of a passion than a skill. Well, both. I'm rambling. But it was just so lovely to be recognised at that point from different things. So it happens quite a lot now, which is absolutely lovely. I have worked at it. I'm not jumping on the back of anyone to take their glory away from them, because I've been here in the background for a long, long time, and I have met some amazing, amazing people, which is, it's just phenomenal. How do you say it? Phenomenal. How the sewing community is, and it brings us all together. One thing I love about it as well is that it's not age related, ageist. Like Susie's old enough to be my daughter. Charlene, maybe if I'd have been about 16 when I started. And we just have that one common thread between us of sewing and creating and loving fashion. And I don't know, like, and that I'm meeting Sarah and Sarah next week, and they're similar ages to me, and we have a great time with them. But I honestly don't think age is the key thing here. It's a passion and the personality. We all know in all different genres, and well, not genres, I don't mean that, decades, that some people are older than their years, some people are younger than the years, and we all end up gravitating and finding the people that we gel with and that make our hearts sing. And I want to be surrounded by these people who make me enthusiastic and excited, and also to add more passion to what I want to do. My head's full enough of my own ideas, but obviously when you're with these people, then it's like a snowball. It rolls and rolls and rolls, and you get more ideas off each other, and you feed against each other, and you help each other. And anyway, I'll go back to the story. So we started messaging each other in December, and then she'd said about that, which I am, everybody who I feel is like on their own, I want to envelope and look after. So we skip forward to sort of like February. We're still been messaging each other a little bit in between these times. Anyway, the Stitch Fest is coming up in March of this year just gone. And I said, Susie, we're all going to meet. There's a few of us that all went to London Frock Tales last year. We've got the same Airbnb. You're more than welcome to come with us. So myself and Charlene Carr, we will do everything together. Sarah joined us. Sheila was out on a limb, so we got Sheila with us. Tanya came with us last year. I loved Tanya to bits. She came. I'm trying to think who else there was now. Oh, Gina, how could I forget Gina? Gina and her mum joined us. And also other Susie, who I don't know that well, but I had met previously at another place. I think that was at the New Craft House. Anyway, it's like a snowball. We've all met, we all gelled really well that weekend. We had such a brilliant time. Obviously shopping hard, drinking hard, eating hard, and talking, sewing like all the time. So that from that night we ended up going out and we ended up getting really drunk, and which is very irresponsible if anyone's listening and doesn't think that's a good idea. But we got drunk, and I was saying, and again, I don't just do it to Susie, I do everybody's wedding who I know is coming up. I love a good wedding. I said, I think you should invite me to that wedding. So I did that. I messaged Christian like as a joke. Susie helped me write it, and that was it. The seed was sort of there really. So anyway, I didn't expect for 1 second that I would be going to this wedding. So anyway, fast forward again, having a great time. She'd gone home. I think Christian thought she was going to be great with all these middle-aged women going away with, because she wasn't going to be in any trouble and she wasn't going to drink that much, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, little did he know what we were all like. So that was a different story. Anyway, fast forward again to sort of I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe it's a couple of months. Obviously I'd reached out and said, when you're making something like as big as your wedding dress, it is nice to have a second opinion or to have any help and stuff like that. So I'd said, obviously confidentially, if she wanted to help me to help her. I do think we have got quite similar tastes. Obviously I wouldn't dress the same way as Susie, but I do know where she's gone and how her head works with that. We're both chaotic sauce. So I said I'd help her out with it. Anyway, that was going fine. I was helping her and stuff like that. But previous to that, she had asked if me and Leggy Lad would like to come to the evening do, as well as a few of the other girls that we were away with that weekend. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it. But I jumped to the chance. We've got that camper van now, which again, I could do a full vlog on that. It's totally great and really good to just get in that van and go all over. So we just thought, weekend in Liverpool, we'll go and have a nice mooch around Liverpool or do whatever on the day, get to the night time and see obviously the wedding. Anyway, a couple of days prior, she did put a shout out. Something had happened with the hairdresser, and it meant that she would have to go away from the venue to get her hair done and then come back, which when you've booked a venue, it isn't ideal. So I'd said, like, you do remember I'm a hairdresser, Susie? She was like, completely forgot, because obviously most of you I think see me here for my sewing content, not my hairdressing. So anyway, I said, I'll do your hair. So she said, right, that is amazing. If you're doing that, you're coming to the daytime do. Didn't want to, felt like I'd be a total imposter, felt like people might be thinking, who the hell is she, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, got there on the Friday, but she obviously had six bridesmaids, and they were obviously let down, but she said, oh, the girls are fine, they'll do their hairs themselves, it's not a problem. But I was saying, but I don't mind doing them. I'm a pretty quick hairdresser, especially like curling and pinning up and stuff like that. So anyway, we left it at that. I was just going to do Susie's hair. And comes the morning of Saturday, and you know, anyone has been in a wedding situation, it is pandemonium. And the makeup artist, who was gorgeous, she's doing her work. The photographer, the videographer, everyone in this room, toing and froing and toing and froing. I'm watching the bridesmaids do the hair. But the night before, when we got there, I had said, because I met everybody there, which was lovely, and everybody made us feel so welcome right from the start. And Leggy as well, he felt really comfortable. Which I don't know why we didn't think we were going to, but you can imagine the apprehension of going to a wedding and you don't really know anybody as such, just Susie, Christian, just from like a little bits of text and stuff like that. But technically I didn't really, oh, and I knew Belle, of course, Annabelle, that's who I've been doing Body to Belle with, so that was nice knowing that she was going to there and meet her. Anyway, I said on the evening before, I said, look, if anyone wants the hair doing for the bridesmaids, I don't mind doing it, because obviously I'm fast and I'll be able to do it. Anyway, one of the girls all volunteered, one girl, and I can't remember her name, and I feel really bad that I can't remember her name, because the bridesmaids were, honestly, I loved them all. They were so lovely. So I ended up saying, like, I'll do that. So we knew that we were going to do that. So of course I'm doing her hair while I'm wrapping my GHD with my hand while I'm doing this, while Susie's getting her makeup. Anyway, I could see the other girls sort of looking. They were all like pin curling, and they knew what they were doing. I'm not saying they didn't, but I think they just needed that little bit of help. So I was like, look, I can do it. I'm stood here doing nothing, so I can do it. Anyway, fast forward to 6 bridesmaids later. I've got all the 6 done. Susie's hair was relatively simple. She likes it scraped back in a bun. So we got that done. And it was like, I don't know, 2 hours in and what have you. And again, because I've been in these situations before, like, gosh, you need to get ready, you need to do this, you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was like, it was just such a great vibe in that room on the morning. I felt so like I felt like I really should have been there. And I felt like I'd known these girls for ages. It was so lovely. Susie was getting her makeup done and she kept turning around glancing, and there's a different girl on the chair and she's like, no, Jen, stop, you're the guest, you shouldn't be doing this, but I was like, no, I've started, so I'm continuing to do it. Anyway, she's like going mad now, saying like, I owe you this, I owe you that. And that morning was absolutely priceless. I felt like I belonged, I felt like I'd helped, because weddings are so stressful. And then I ended up having to, sorry, that was a wrong phrase. I ended up helping her into a dress and packing the dress at the bottom. You've obviously all seen a dress now. And packing the bottom up with the net and everything like that. So I had to literally, the only harrowing thing of the whole day was I had to look at her butt cheeks for like why I was lacing her up in the back of that dress. But I just loved it. I loved every single second of that morning. And like I said, I'm not here to ride on the back of Susie. I'll tell you anything else about our wedding, because it was totally unique to them too. But just how that morning was amazing. I felt amazing. Obviously, I'd made my dress. You'd seen, again, if you've seen on Instagram, you've seen the dress that I was going to wear. That was too similar to Susie's fabric. I mean, obviously another guest could have turned up in that not knowing, but me knowing what she was wearing. And it was really funny because all the comments were coming through saying that would be brilliant for a wedding, and it would have been brilliant. It will be brilliant for a wedding, just not Susie. So if anyone else wants like a loose hairdresser to turn up on the day and feed us with me, like, you'll be there. And if we can get there in the camper van, that'd be fine. We stayed in the stayed in the hotel the night before, but we stayed in the car park over the road in the camper van, like a Brit Stops. So we can go anywhere, can't we? I feel like that van's like our little tortoise. We've got our like a home on our head type thing with a hard top. Anyway, I'm being stupid. So that's all I wanted to say before I lead you into seeing how I made the dress. Susie, again, I've done 3 dresses recently. I did two test dresses. Oh yeah, I did 3. I did the Mary Benson one. I did the one I wore, the Trend Patterns one that I wore for the wedding. I made the Stephanie's Petite Dressmaker, and I've also made another one that I can't share yet. That's secret, so that one's going to come out soon. So there was 4 dresses, and 3 of them were in the line really to wear for the wedding. But obviously I chose the one I did, and I just loved wearing that dress. It was so lovely. Obviously I'm a little bit more body confident because I've lost a stone. Not even just about the weight, just the fact that I feel toned up. I've been exercising, I've not been drinking. Like, I don't know, I can't even tell you how much I've reduced my drinking. Absolutely loads. And I really thought I'd missed drinking. And when we got there on Friday, I think I had 3 Prosecco's, and my head was like, was being stupid, just on 3 Prosecco's. So I'm a really cheap date now. The day progressed through, and again I had a drink, but I just didn't find that I really missed it, to be honest. I'm realizing that I'm quite a good company without being, well, I'm never mashed, but I just didn't really need the empty calories. So I don't know why I'm going on about this now, but anyway, that's how I felt on the day. I felt great, my dress felt great. I managed to get some shoes that fit my horrible feet because of the arthritis in my toes. It's blocked my toes. I'm really self-conscious about them, but again, I was like, embrace your weird feet, go for it. If anyone's looking at my feet, I don't think they'll need to anyway. They can look at me. My hair went great. My hat was good. I think I was the only guest with a hat on, actually, but that hat was from Vinted and it was worth the money completely. So all of the fabrics I chose would go with that hat. So that's why I did that. So I had the choice to what to wear. And Leggy looked gorgeous. He scrubbed up really well. And I like, we were in it together, although I knew more people, but the table we sat on, everyone was so lovely, and it was just so lovely. I can't tell you how lovely the whole day was. It was so perfect. But at the end of the day, or during the day, or whatever, in all of the panic on the morning, Susie had given me this for it, because I mean, originally she thought I was just doing her hair, but anyway, it didn't make any difference. But she bought me this fabric. Initially, she said to me, she spoke to me about it afterwards, and she said, I don't think it's totally right, but she loved the texture on it, as I do. And she knows that I do sometimes go for a few blues, but what it has led me to do is go through my stash, and you know, I've got a big stash, and I've pulled out certain fabrics that this is going to look amazing too with. So I'm not going to go on about this right now. This is going to be another vlog, but I'm going to leave you with looking at this because it is stunning. And I'm going to do another vlog on what and how and whatever I'm going to do with this fabric. I'm going on yet another holiday to Malaga. My granddaughter has got a month's secondment there to learn how to speak Spanish. So me and her granddad are just going to jump on a plane and go and see her for a week and keep her company midway through, so that she can, she's got some allies and we can get her to speak Spanish and sort of see how she's progressing there, because it'd be lovely, really lovely to do. So she's just done so good. She's 21. She'll be 21 on the flight on the way home on her own. Or the day actually she'll be in Malaga for her 21st on her own. But she's such a loner, OL, sometimes. She's great with her own company. She really, like I say, every age and genre and everything, we all take something from. And this year, me going on my holiday on my own was a massive thing for me to do, because I rely on people totally. Where I see OLs and I just see that she's so confident in her own little skin. It's just amazing at 21. I just love it. So I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to show you the plans for this in the next vlog. So sorry for rambling, but I wanted to give you some insight on mine and Susie's relationship so far, 6 months in. It's just meant to be. I just think we were meant to be mates. The same as Charlene. Charlene rescued me. I don't even know if you know that story, but I can't leave Charlene out of this. And Gina is another one, but Charlene rescued me because we were making the Rumana coat at the same time. I think that was 6 years ago. Oh, so 6 months and 6 years. So 6 months ago, and she'd seen on my stories I'd put on it about doing the lining and stuff. and she spied that I would put the lining on the wrong way. I hadn't put the pattern piece on right. So she messaged me saying, I hope you don't mind, but that you've done that wrong. And I was like, no, don't mind at all. Thanks for telling me. And again, mine and Charlene's little friendship is history now. We get on so well. So for Charlene. So that's where I am with my little gushy stories about beautiful friendships on Facebook. No, not on Facebook. Who goes on Facebook these days? On Instagram. And my little sewing little community is the absolute best. And I'm still trying to wrap my Hazel's. Anyway, it'll come to me. I'll write it in the comments. But here this is, and let me ramble further, but you'll see me what I'm doing with the next lot of videos that you see after this. Thanks for listening so far, and if you haven't subscribed, please will you? I know I am getting up. I'm nearly getting at my watch time, and I'm doing okay, I think. I'm liking it. I'm liking just talking to this wall of all my... You can't see what I'm seeing here, but I'm just imagining that you lot are all in front of me when I'm talking. So hopefully I'm doing okay. So see you soon. So Yusuf at Rainbow Fabrics described this material as somebody has been sick and puked on it, and I absolutely disagree and love it to bits. So I am going to make this into such a beautiful dress. I'm going to use the Trend Patterns, I don't even know what it's called, but it's a twist dress, tie dress that Charlene had on when we went to Stitch Fest. And I'm going to love it. I know even before I cut into this fabric, it is going to work out so well. So watch this space. One thing that always happens when you make Lucy's patterns from Trend Patterns is you doubt yourself, or you think, how is this going to work out? So I've put the channels in both sides there for the front. They're all there waiting now, and I've got to put this through it and make the front section, because at the moment it doesn't look anything, does it? So there you've got the front section here, and we've got the sleeves, not the sleeves, the shoulders and the side. I am going to actually put sleeves in this. I've had enough fabric to make sleeves, so I think that will look nice for me anyway. So I'm going to get these channels in now and see this come to life. It's so different to anything I've made before. I think I've got it in right. I've given it a little bit of a press, and that should lay okay now, I think, once it's on, and once I get the skirt on, and obviously make the rest. It's not finished. But I love the colours, the variations are going in that. It looks really nice. So I'm still plodding along with this. It's so hard doing something new sometimes. I've just messaged Charlene to ask her to help me on this bit. I can't visualise it at all. Lucy's patterns do tend to... Oh, he's leggy ringing me. They do tend to sort of push her to the absolute edge, to be honest, which is a good thing, because we don't learn, do we, unless we're pushed. So I'm on this bit now, putting the skirt on, and then I've just got the zip to go in, I think, and then I've chose to put what's-it-calls on it, sleeves in, so I'll get them in as well. But so far, so good, I hope. So after absolutely tons of work, I did 3 dresses straight off, and they worked absolutely brilliantly. But this, poor Charlene is sick of me having her on speed dial. She's really helped me with this dress. But I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I've got the sleeves to go in, and then a little bit of hemming, and she's done. The dress is finally finished. Well, apart from the obvious, there's no sleeves in, but I've actually finished the bulk of this dress. The hems are on, the chains, the sort of the the channeling and everything's done. I just need to put the sleeves in, which I'm working on now. lots of things that have gone wrong. Well, not wrong, but been hard to make this with this dress. The channels are on the wrong way around. Technically, these channels should be shown from the front, but I like the look of what it's given me there, so I'm quite okay with that. The same here, but Charlene has been an absolute star and helped me loads through making this dress. So I couldn't have done it without her. And I don't know how she did hers in a day. I'd made 3 dresses and this has been hardest. But I've got there and I do really like it. But now I'm thinking I need a jacket. So I found this in my stash. It's not quite showing up the right colour there on my screen. But I think it's going to look really nice with that. But I've also got this linen as well, like Coupeau. I don't know whether to make a little jacket to go with that. So I'm going to see where I get, because I've got 2 dresses I need to finish today. I'm in the last week before I need to wear this on Saturday, but I really wanted to use these buttons. So I am going to see how I get on. If I do the jacket in the denim, it's going to be the Charlie jacket, but I'm going to shorten it considerably so that it just finishes on here. Oh, I've just thought there, though, I have got a leather jacket as well. Can you wear a leather jacket to a wedding? Oh, that's another thought. I could do that, and then that would save me. Right. These are as are going up, out. These videos are as I'm thinking. So I think I might do that, you know, because, look. Can you see? This is why I might do that. I really need... Oh, hold on, though. That might go too. Oh, I think I might wear that. Right, you'll see what I've worn by the time you're seeing this video, vlog, whatever we're going to call it. But I really need to tidy up. So I've got enough. I'm forgetting about this jacket. I'm going to forget about it. So I'm going to get the sleeves in here now, and then we're going to see where we go from there. I was limited on fabric by the time it came to the sleeves, so I've cut the Emily sleeve out by Charlene Sauce Dressmaking, but I did widen it a little bit at the top here, so it should give me a little bit more of a gather at the top. But I'm just going to put 3 lines of shirring along here so that finishes it. I've already turned up my hem, but I haven't sewn that yet, because I'm going to sew the 3 lines of shirring, and then I'm going to sew it together, and then I'm going to put the hem right the way around. I'm going to sew it together, overlock with this down, and then fold up. So this is just giving me the rough idea of where I need to start. I want this to be like a little frill at the end, so I'm most probably going to start about here. Like I say, I am a very guesstimator in my sewing, and I think that will work out fine. Because the hem was already sort of folded over, I knew where I was going to go, so I've used this as my guideline, that dot there. I've come to the end, and I'm going to do the same as I've already shown you. I'm going to put the needle in, I'm going to turn it round, I'll stitch up for 3. Put the needle in, that might be in 4, and then turn it. Oh. And then I can go back over on myself for and I'll do the same, but I'm just going to do 3 rows of shirring on here. So I've hit a little bit of a problem here. It's too tight for my arm. You've seen how tiny it's gone. So I'm going to unpick this, and I'm going to make a extra bit to sit on, and sew onto this and gather it onto it so it fits. I'll explain it more, but literally I need to unpick this and start again, really. Luckily, shirring doesn't take that long to unpick, so I'm back to square one. Now I've cut 2 rectangular shapes out, the 4 inches in depth and about 4 inches longer than this. Wasn't massively out, but I wouldn't have felt comfortable with them. So I'm going to hem this, I'm going to turn the hem, and I'm going to do exactly the same, and then we're going to attach this to the bottom of each sleeve, and that should work out. To attach this to the bottom of the sleeve, I've used my zigzag technique of gathering. I'm going to overlock this now. I need to do the hem, and then I'm going to finish it up. But that looks really cute too. So it's totally different, but I love the way the shearing looks, and I quite like the way that finishes with sort of with it not all being continuous, if you know what I mean. So that's sort of like a cuff on top of it. So again, maybe it's a happy accident, but it's fabric, isn't it? It's not life-threatening. We can move on. But I only literally had a limited bit to do them cuffs, so I'm glad it's worked. It always interests me in sewing to whether somebody finishes each stage at the same time and then works, or jumps to the final stage. I am definitely a jumper. So I've got that sleeve done now, that I'm going to put into the dress. I haven't started on this bit yet, but I just wanted to see that it works before I continue, but I'm sure it will. But let me know, are you a jumper, or do you complete each stage as you're going along? And the first sleeve's in, and it looks so pretty. So pretty. I am sort of thinking, I definitely didn't want it sleeveless for a wedding, but I do think that sleeve looks lush too, and the sort of the ruching and everything mirrors this and this. So I think it definitely goes. I think it needed that rather than leaving it just a plain sleeve. The colours are in this. I just want to dive into it. I just love it. The colours are just amazing. So it turns out I didn't need a new jacket after all. This has been hung up in my room since Christmas, but I don't like the way that the front comes round. So I'm going to unpick this front bit, and I'm going to put a facing of the I don't know what you would call it, but I'm going to put a facing of that inside, and then I think that looks great. So that's good. I love the sleeve on that. And then the sleeves on my dress. So the sleeves in my dress, I didn't have as much fabric as I wanted, but I am going to do a little sleeve puff in there to bring that up higher. I think they worked. Don't like this bra I'm wearing, need to change that bra. But other than that, I'm really happy with this dress too. Looks so cute.